TikTok ban is so much darker than you think. Hello you gorgeous donuts. Today we're going to be talking about TikTok possibly being banned in America. There's an entire situation unfolding at the minute and it's absolutely mental, so let's just get into it. So for people that somehow don't know what TikTok is, it's a video sharing platform basically where people can watch short form content and anybody can post to it. It's probably my favorite app, I can't lie. As of this month, January 2025, TikTok has 1 billion monthly active users, which is insane. And it became the first place where people would go to for the news. I know a lot of the time if something broke out, like on the internet, I would go to TikTok and search it because people have already made videos on it. I feel like it really took over from Twitter in that aspect, where news kind of wasn't breaking on Twitter anymore. It would break first on TikTok, then go to Twitter. I feel like that's one of the main reasons why TikTok got big, also because the attention span, like you can watch 100 videos in the space of 5 minutes if you wanted to. And the algorithm when it came out was revolutionary. Now it seems normal that every single app kind of shows you what you want to see. However, a lot of the time before TikTok came about, apps were showing you what they wanted you to see, what they thought you liked. Whereas TikTok was one of the first apps that kind of brought videos to the viewer rather than showing videos to the viewer, if that makes any sense. The audience kind of dictated what they were going to see, and it was perfect because it kept you on the platform longer. And YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, every single other algorithm copied this. Also, the easiness to just like share videos or repost videos, it really was like a groundbreaking app when it came out. And one of the main reasons why so many people started posting on this app was if you post a photo on Instagram, it's only really going to be your audience that sees it. It's not like there's no chance of it really going viral. YouTube, it's insanely hard to make like your first video go viral. However, on TikTok, you could post a video and that could have a million views in the space of like 5 minutes if it was a decent TikTok. It was like groundbreaking. It was insane. I think a lot of the views were inflated because if somebody watched your video twice, that would count as 2 views, whereas on YouTube, or like that doesn't happen, or on Instagram, like somebody can't like your photo twice. So I think it was inflated, but it still made people feel like, oh my god, this is amazing, I need to post on this more. It gave people instant validation for kind of posting. By the way, guys, I am going to ramble in this video because I'm just so invested and this is like my so stick with this, but we're going to cover everything. One thing that not many people will know, but TikTok used to be called music.ly or Musical.ly, and I always remember when they changed their branding from Musical.ly to TikTok, where they kind of wanted to get rid of the child image, like the kind of cringe nature of lip syncing. They offered to pay creators money to post on TikTok. This was when nobody really used it. I remember getting offered money to post on TikTok and I was like, well, I don't really want to do that because I feel like I'm kind of it felt like I was selling out in a way because this app, like no one had heard of this app. It was crazy. Thinking about it now, why didn't I take that money? I would have been Charlie D'Amelio now, right? I would have had a series on Amazon or wherever the that series was. Catching up with the Kirkhams. Can you imagine that? Just me going into Aldi, getting a bread roll every single day. Oh, the scenes. Now, as of recording this video, yesterday, TikTok has now been banned in America, just completely wiped off as if it never existed. Here's a message that every single person in America would have received. Important update from TikTok. We regret that a US law banning TikTok will take effect on January the 19th and force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore our service in the US as soon as possible and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned. And then you can't access the app at all after this. It lets you dismiss it, but nothing else shows, which is insane because, you know, especially with America being known as like the land of the free, the land of opportunity, the opportunities that TikTok gave people was so significant, and the fact that this is just wiped out overnight has caused insane ripple effects over the entire country, which we're going to discuss. It kind of reminds us of Infinity War. You know when Thanos just snapped his finger and then half of the population was just gone? That's what it's like on TikTok at the minute. All the Americans are just nowhere to be seen. It's amazing. I can't believe it. I'm joking. I am joking for the like 10 people from America that watch these videos. Bet you really relate to the TikToks only British people will understand. Now you might be asking, as I did, why is TikTok getting banned in America but it's allowed in places like where I live in the UK? And the main reason apparently is because it's a breach of security for US citizens, because it's obviously owned by China. Like the fact that China is gathering this data from US citizens, obviously the US government for some reason doesn't like it, even though every single other app that is available in that country does the same thing. So they've decided that it's like a risk to their security of the country and they need to ban it. It says here there's concerns that the Chinese government could manipulate content and gain access to sensitive user data through the app, which is owned by the Chinese company ByteDance. And they're basically saying that China could kind of fuel misinformation to American citizens, especially since, you know, TikTok is seen as like the #1 kind of news source at the minute. I can see why, like, like the logic behind it, but also loads of American accounts are also spreading misinformation, so you can't just blame China for this. I know I'm getting very political here, but everyone is guilty of misinformation. Now, I don't want to get into conspiracies, okay, because I haven't got a tin hat on. I can't be asked really for people to kind of, you know, I don't want to jump on any bandwagons, basically. But I do have a theory that obviously America will want to kind of control, like, certain kind of news stories that are coming out, etc. And because TikTok is not owned by an American company, like something like Meta, where Meta obviously owns Facebook and owns Instagram and owns all these other social media companies, as well as Elon Musk owning Twitter, they very much have control of the narrative. And obviously with China owning TikTok, the narrative of TikTok is not in their hands, so that could have something to do with it. I don't know if they'll make their own TikTok or if they'll push people towards using Instagram Reels, but if I was ever forced to use Instagram Reels, I would rather pluck my own eyes out with a butter knife. I literally went on it the other day just to see like what's going on over there, and the first reel that came up was D's nuts, and I just instantly closed it. I was like, you know what, this is like 10 years in the past. I'll come back on when I'm 30, guys. Okay, maybe you have just got some of the memes we've got now on TikTok. Now, as of recording this is actually the day before Donald Trump goes into office and becomes the president, and he has actually said that he's going to look into giving TikTok a 90-day extension so people can still use it for another 3 months, basically, before they make a final decision. Now, obviously, that would be a very popular decision for Donald Trump to do that, and I imagine that it's kind of being like kind of fixed in a way that he can be the person to bring back TikTok, so instantly his reign starts on a high. All of this stuff normally is planned, you know, it's never just, these things don't happen by accident. Like the fact that it's shut down and the very next day Donald Trump can overturn it, do you think that's by accident? God, we're getting very political in this one, aren't we? What's happening to it? Now, the TikTok CEO has actually spoken about the ban.
Hi everyone, it's Show here. As you know, we have been fighting to protect the constitutional right to free speech for the more than 170 million Americans who use our platform every day. On behalf of everyone at TikTok and all our users across the country, I want to thank President Trump for his commitment to work with us to find a solution that keeps TikTok available in the United States. This is a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship. As we've said, TikTok is a place where people can create communities, discover new interests, and express themselves, including over 7 million American businesses who earn a living and gain new customers using our platform. To all American users, thank you for making our TikTok community such a rich and vibrant space.
It's just the fact he said thanks for making TikTok's community like a rich and vibrant space, whereas like in reality every single comment section on TikTok is like a war zone. You can kind of like on TikTok watch a video and kind of just suspect what the comment section's gonna be like before even opening it. That's a sign of a rich and vibrant community. You can just tell it's gonna get overturned though. Like you can tell the CEO of TikTok and Donald Trump clearly have, you know, a decent relationship. But enough of the news aspect of it. I want to get into more of a light-hearted kind of thing surrounding the TikTok ban. A lot of creators have been kind of losing their over TikTok getting banned.
I don't know how many hours we have left together or whether or not this app is even going to go dark tonight at midnight, but in case it does, I don't want the last video that I post to be screaming and yelling at the camera during some rant or...
No, I'm not laughing, I'm not laughing, man, you are. You're laughing, I'm not laughing, I'm crying over here, Christ. Sorry, why did he start that as if he's like dying, as if he's like got a terminal illness? Sorry guys, I don't know how long we've got left together before it goes dark. What? It's just an app shutting down, sir. Like, this is James Charles. Isn't he huge on every single platform? Like, his TikTok audience getting, like, you know, kind of shifted somewhere else isn't really going to affect him compared to other people.
Following some audio trends, so I just wanted to set my phone down and talk to you guys for a couple of minutes if this is the last video that I post. Sorry, I know it's embarrassing to set my phone down and cry about an app getting banned, but I know everyone's kind of coping with this in different ways. A lot of people are making jokes, which I've done as well. Some people are really...
It is sad, but it is a little bit of champagne problems for someone like him. The fact he's talking as if he's lost a family member here is a little, in my opinion, It's a little much. But he's clearly very upset, and in his eyes, this is probably really overwhelming, so I guess I do sympathise with him. This might be the strongest part of his brand, and I know James Charles has obviously been through a lot of cancellations, so TikTok kind of getting deleted might be a huge thing for him.
I've felt all those emotions, but honestly today, I'm just feeling really sad. I really love this app. I really love this platform that I've been able to build in this community that we have together here, and it feels really just dystopian and like unreal that it could be going away in a couple of hours.
Stop laughing. What am I laughing for? I'm horrible. I'm actually an awful human. I love the community I've built here. Let's have a look at what the top comments are on this TikTok. Bye, sister. Hi, sister. Guys, we need to like go outside and read a book. I dropped my phone behind my bed and had to listen to this for 10 minutes. Can you imagine? It just played and repeat. I'd be like, where's the fucking phone? I can't take anymore. I think I would feel a lot more sympathy if this was like a small business owner who makes their entire income off TikTok, but like, I don't know why he's... Surely this shouldn't really, you know, end James Charles forever. I don't even think he built his platform on TikTok, did he?
I don't understand how we've gotten to a point where 9 people that we didn't even elect into office are making a decision for more than half the American population. I've been making content for a really long time online, way before TikTok was ever even a thing, but truly nothing has ever compared to this app. I think it's really hitting me as well because this is really the first platform that I feel like I've been able to be myself at. Throughout the years of making content, I'm so proud of what I've created, but some of my really close friends behind the scenes have always said to me, like, James, I wish you were able to be more yourself in your videos. And I never really understood what they meant.
Okay, now, you know, this app clearly has been a big thing for James Charles's mental health, which is a really nice thing. That is a really nice thing, that he's been able to kind of be more of himself. I want to know what type of videos James Charles did that kind of made him become more himself on here.
James, what are you doing?
Hey, I haven't slept at all last night. I'm trying to figure out a way to save TikTok.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, with the Senate and the House, it's not looking good, but I think I do have one idea.
What is it?
Well, we need to raise...
Money?
No, not money. Something greater.
Raise your ya.
Raise your ya.
A little bit longer. Raise your ya.
Raise your ya.
Together, we have to say TikTok.
Okay. Raise your ya.
Okay, I've seen enough. Get rid of it. I'm in the camp with the American politicians now. Get rid. Imagine losing your phone and you've got to listen to that on repeat. Oh, where? To be fair, that's going to be stuck in my head. I'm going to be doing that every single time I'm in the shower. Raise your yeah. What? Yeah, that's new. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at some of the influencers crying.
But this app has been a pivotal part in my life. I'm so sorry I'm crying. I know it sounds so silly, but this app has changed me for the better, and you guys have changed me for the better. I hope it's not going anywhere. I'm praying it's not going anywhere. I will do everything in my power to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, but of course my power against the United States government is not much. But getting that notification was really scary.
I've seen this girl before. I think she's pretty big on TikTok. Can't lie, I don't know much about her brand. I don't know if she built it on TikTok. But I feel like for people that have built their entire income stream and brand, etc. solely on TikTok, this must be really scary. Because obviously I know they're going to get very little sympathy from people that don't do this as a job. Well, not everyone, but some people. But like, could you imagine, you know, you've worked like quite a lot of years to build up a platform and then it's just taken away from you and you can't do anything about it? That must be quite scary, especially if you don't have a big, huge following on anything else. You're kind of knackered, and we're going to get onto that later in the video, how those creators are going to kind of cope with this.
And to the US government, I'm never forgiving you for this. And I'm never going to trust you ever again, because you just, like that, took away millions of people's income and livelihood. And who does that? So I'm never trusting you ever again with anything.
So I'm starting to give up hope that there's going to be a Hail Mary moment at the end of this that's going to save this app.
I feel so dumb. coming on the internet and crying about an app. But the fact is that this has been a sense of community for me.
I actually feel really sorry for some people. I actually really do. For like smaller creators, you know, like people that have like built up like a really strong community, and it's going to be hard to like move that community over to another app because it's just hard in general, no matter what size you are, unless you're like a James Charles size. It must be really, really stressful because your whole life's kind of turned upside down. Especially, you know, if you've had like a job that you didn't like, and then, you know, you've worked and managed to quit your job, and then you've managed to do this full time, and then you feel like you're getting in a rhythm with it, and then it's just tucked away.
It's just like, why would they take this app from the girls? Like, if you wanted to take it from the boys, not the girls, not the girls. I cannot stop.
Don't take it from us. We've got to work together here, sister. Don't make this about the boys and the girls. We're not fighting. We're on the same boat here, trying to get to shore, trying to get the app back. Why we're fighting amongst ourselves.
It's time to say goodbye. And I'm not even trying to cry, but because I'm so pregnant, I'm so emotional about you guys. I was in denial, and I was simply being delusional, and I was just pretending like nothing's gonna happen. People are gonna just laugh at me because they're like, why is she crying over an app?
It is wild how every single person is crying, and then like every single person then goes, I know it's stupid that I'm crying over an app, but it is wild that an app like TikTok has kind of, I think it's definitely been there for a lot of people, even if you're not an influencer, just like using the app if you don't post on it. It's definitely like, it helps you escape from your problems because it just takes your mind off it, because your mind's constantly stimulated with new videos. You kind of grow an affection to it, because I don't know if it got banned in the UK, I don't know where or what I would kind of use for that. You've only really got YouTube and subscribing to the Cam Kirkham channel and the Cam Kirkham Reacts channel. That's the only thing you've really got. But apart from that, what do you do when you've watched all those videos? There's nothing. Maybe there's a new Cam Kirkham movie channel coming out soon, but you don't know.
I hate crying online, I really do, but I want to make something really raw and realistic, especially for what I'm going through right now, what so many of us are going through. It just truly hit me tonight that like TikTok could be gone. I know some of you guys who can't relate, don't understand and think it's silly, and you think like, oh, okay, well you guys gotta go get a real 9-to-5 job. Let me tell you right now, social media, TikTok, content creation, it is a full-time job. It is a real job. You're delivering a service and you're getting paid.
Okay, so shut up. What, you think me creating this video isn't it? Fingers on lips, right? Can't use these if you're using that. Right, you heard it here first from Kylie X Park. That's someone I want to follow. She gets it. This is the hardest job in the world. There's not a job harder than this. I've heard people come back from war saying that posting on TikTok's harder than that. Never say that my job is easy. Ever again. I don't know why some people are trying to make it out. I know if your income is going, but don't make it out as if it's the hardest job in the world. Daddy said like that. You like, such a weird way to start the video. See, this is people I actually do feel sorry for. Like small businesses, that like TikTok has helped so many people kind of, you know, work for themselves, because obviously there's like TikTok shop, or there is, you know, having a business and then like attaching your products to TikTok. Like it's opened the gate. And I also think for creators as well, like that's something I've wanted to get onto, is obviously I've been posting on social media before TikTok was a thing. It's a lot harder to grow prior TikTok, because with TikTok it kind of levels the playing field. Like you wouldn't have realized, but so many YouTubers fell off when TikTok became a thing, because if you weren't like that good at YouTube, you still like could kind of stroll along and get by because there was no real competition. But because the gate for entry with TikTok was so low, like all you needed was a phone and an app. Like for free you can post, you don't need like a special camera, you don't need a microphone, anybody can do it, which meant so many like amazing people were growing and making this like their livelihood. Like it was so exciting to see, and it was so exciting to see people from like different backgrounds become huge, whereas before, like I think a lot of people will admit, the first YouTubers, they were kind of all from like a similar background, you know, obviously like they probably, you know, had a bit of money etc growing up, which is fine, but to be huge on YouTube, you couldn't just kind of like pick up your phone one day and just kind of do it. Really, you either needed to, you know, have somebody that could buy you the equipment, or save up for ages, like what I did. I sold like all of my clothes just so I could afford like a £200 GoPro that was like a third or fourth hand GoPro, just so I could film videos for YouTube. Like it was so tough before, and that is one thing for Americans, that if the TikTok ban does stay and does like actually, you know, become a real thing, the gate for entry is going to be higher again, and you're not going to see as many like new creators kind of pop up, which I think is a bad thing. And also you're going to see less people, you know, kind of working for themselves. themselves, because it's going to be even harder to market your products, because with TikTok, like I said before, you can post a TikTok and it can go viral overnight. If you're getting 100,000 views on a TikTok, do you know how much money you need to spend on Facebook to get 100,000 people like via ads to see it? It's ridiculous. It's just not feasible for people to start. It's like, I know that TikTok has been really powerful for certain things in my life. For instance, like me and Chloe started posting on that app when we were getting like 400 views per video on like a new YouTube channel would started, like where we started the podcast. We started posting on TikTok and like them views just started instantly going really high, and the only reason we got a Spotify original podcast was because of TikTok. Without TikTok, we wouldn't have been able to do that, because the barrier for entry would have been higher, which would have meant like bigger creators who've got the funds to start a podcast would have just done it, and we wouldn't have been able to compete. So I actually have like a strong affiliation with this app, and I do feel sorry for small businesses and small creators that are trying to get on. One thing that huge creators have been doing since the TikTok ban has come into force is they've been doing this like final confessions thing, which is going to be so funny if the ban does get overturned, because everyone's going to go back and look at these confessions, and then I feel like a lot of creators might get in trouble.
Since we're all gonna die, there's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for The Godfather.
What?
Did not care for The Godfather.
How can you even say that, Dad?
Didn't like it.
So I don't know if I don't know if this is like groundbreaking for the people that follow this person. Were like, she didn't cheat. Oh my god. What? I have no idea, but apparently, you know, this has got 6 million views, so this must have, you know, hit a nerve with some people.
Since we're all gonna die, there's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for The Godfather.
What?
Did not care for The Godfather.
Any Madeline Argy fans out there? If you didn't see this TikTok, well, there's your night sorted. There's something for you to ponder over. One thing that is going to be really interesting to see when Vine got banned, and how all of the creators from Vine like migrated over to YouTube. Like we seen Logan Paul, Drew Gooden, David Dobrik, like Lily Pons. All of these like creators managed to successfully transfer the brand and become bigger than ever. Whereas some really struggled. Like for instance, I remember this person who people said I look like, called Cameron Dallas. He used to be like really huge on Vine, etc. I think they were called like the Magcon boys or something. He never really transferred over to YouTube, I don't think. And like some people really struggled, because some people are just kind of like made for a certain type of app and audience, and it's hard for them to kind of get out of that. But I can see a massive invasion of TikTok creators coming over to YouTube and to Instagram and to other platforms to kind of market themselves. It's funny to see like how people from the UK have been reacting to this. Like I saw this guy's TikTok where he was just absolutely creased.
Day one without the Americans. Explains me why I've seen this tool crying over Charlie D'Amelio. Just read it. I'm generally crying. Charlie D'Amelio and Vinci the Hype House posted their 2020 TikToks because of the TikTok ban. How are you crying over someone dancing? I'm so happy. I'm so happy. My man is crying over Americans getting banned off TikTok. I have seen it all.
So there's very little sympathy from people from the UK, even though this guy is posting on TikTok and probably would be upset if his account had been took down. But it is sad. Like, I want the Americans to be on it. Like, TikTok is a better app because Americans are on it, right? That's just the facts. It'll be interesting to see if the ban comes to the UK, because I know there's no real plans for it to be enforced in the UK, as they don't see it as much of a threat as what the US do. However, there has been some kind of murmurings about, you know, the UK possibly not trusting TikTok that much, which could potentially see the ban come over here in the future.
Also going to ban the use of TikTok on government devices. We will do so with immediate effect. Mr. Speaker, this is a precautionary move. We know that there is already limited use of TikTok across government, but it is also good cyber hygiene.
Sorry, just the term cyber hygiene is just unbelievable. I can just, like, are people doing that? Imagine, like, on a night time, you're like, right, I've got to hop in the shower. Okay, right, I've got to put all my creams on. Right, check. Brush my teeth. Right there, I'll do my earwax. Right, got that. Oh, I forgot me cyber hygiene. I need to delete me cookies. Oh! Just closing all your apps. Right. Logging out of everything, making sure you've got 2-factor on every app. Make of that what you will. I hope it doesn't get banned over here, and I do hope that it gets overturned permanently, even after the 90 days that Donald Trump is supposedly extending it. Let me know what your opinion on this. I've tried to be as empathetic as possible, and I know, like, sometimes I kind of have just laughed at the way people are reacting, but I do really feel sorry for that for people that actually do use this app on a consistent basis, and it takes them away from their issues. I know I would be upset if it got banned over here, but if you like this video of me just talking a little bit more, let us know. And if you want to watch me react to some TikToks, why don't you click this video right here? Go on, for old time's sake, you want to. There you can.
Kirkham, baby.